Hi guys. Hope that's better. So earlier today, I did a live video and talked about the question Tony had in our mindset Zoom that we did on last Thursday, and I wanted to share this spreadsheet with you guys. It is in the Google Drive, and Um, I will put a link to this in the comments. So, if you missed those talks, what I talked about was looking at what has the most profitable potential on our farm. What's our most valuable asset, besides ourselves on the farm or ranch. And I gave a talk last year to a group of folks who are ranchers that raise Barzona cattle, and a lot of them don't sell direct to customers. And I was encouraging them to start selling direct to customers and start doing that with ground beef and your cull cattle. So what I'm just going to walk through this spreadsheet, and I think there's a way here. And sorry, I'm new with Zoom, so I just want to make sure that you can kind of follow along as I go here. I know there's ways to, yeah, that's a little better, I think. So you can follow that. So, well, I don't know. Anyways, I'll just highlight the things as I go through. So on average, your cull cattle are going to bring at the auction and if you aren't raising cattle, a cull cow, basically every year you go through, see which cows aren't producing for you, and you take them to auction, or you do something, you sell them, harvest them, whatever. So what I'm proposing is, instead of taking those to the auction, take some of them to a USDA butcher. Most USDA butchers right now are very backed up, at least here in the Northwest. They're 6 months to a year out. So that's the first thing I would do, or I want to recommend, is call a USDA butcher near you and see what their schedule looks like and see if you can get in their book. And then in other videos, I'll go into kind of other steps that you can take to start getting this ground beef sold. So what I suggested to that group with Barzona cattle last year, Gary's place, was look at this and look at how much ground beef you can get from each of these cows. So in this spreadsheet, I just use an average weight of 1,000. That's going to get you 400 pounds of ground beef. And of that 400 pounds, I would suggest doing 40-pound boxes if you are going to ship. If you have a farm store, it's a little bit different. But if you are going to ship 40 pounds, that gets you 10 shipments per cow. And you can see in row 12 here, I've got an average shipping cost of $75. Now that varies some, anywhere from $40 on the low end to $100 on the high end to ship a box of ground beef, anywhere from like 1 to 50 pounds. So yeah, kind of got sidetracked there, but what we can do here, so I was just showing you kind of some of the things that are kind of set, so that anything that you see that's yellow, you can go in there and tweak those according to what works for you and your farm. But we're just having it here, just one cow. So if you process one cow through a USDA butcher and sell that cow as ground, like premium, 100% grass-fed, grass-finished ground beef, and just do the ground beef, you don't pull any roasts, anything else out of it, which you can, And make sure too that you're dry aging it as well and telling folks that you are dry aging it. So if you are doing that, this is the profit potential that you have for your farm with just one cow. If you do one a month, that's the profit potential for one cow a month. Let's look at two. You do 2 cows a month. Potentially, you could do 72,000 in profit if you followed the model there from, or if you priced it at $10.99 a pound. You may be thinking, there's no way I should price my ground beef from a 18-year-old cow at $10.99 a pound. So I'm going to tell you why your cull cow is better than anything you can get at these stores. For these three that I called today, they're local to us. Whole Foods, they're nationwide. I don't know about New Seasons and Zupans. But I wanted to at least talk to three, because Whole Foods used to be the top. Like, they used to be the most expensive. But that's not the case anymore. And so all three of them, that's the prices that they gave me. They quoted me today. That was in Bend and Portland, the two kind of local metropolitan areas near us. And folks are buying it. Like, at New Seasons, they told me that they only get their shipments of ground beef every 2 weeks, and it does sell out. And at $10.99 a pound at Zupans, that store is packed. It's over in Portland, and folks know the importance of ground beef, and this shows you, like, all three of them, it was exactly the same product. This shows you that you can set yourself apart in your pricing based on how you inform people and how people learn about exactly what you're doing and start to care for you and start to trust you and like you and understand, here's what I'm getting. So all three of these stores, and this is why that 18-year-old cow is a more premium product than all three of what these three stores offer, is because none of them had, we are here in Oregon, none of them had an Oregon product. None of them carried the American Grass-Fed Association seal, surprisingly, which means that cow would be raised within the U.S. Right now for beef, now in 2020, the USDA regulations do not tell you that you need to, or they allow you to stamp some beef as processed, like product of the USA, even if that came from Australia or New Zealand or Uruguay. And actually, I have a ground beef chub in our freezer that is from Trader Joe's that says product of the USA, Australia, and Uruguay, and it's 1 pound of ground beef. So what you have to offer in that cull cow is a much more premium product than any of these stores are offering. And when folks, the average farm price there at $5 a pound, when folks feel that way, that they should be getting the better price from the farm, that is, like, I can understand that, but also I don't think that is your dream customer. That's what we're going to go into next week, because there are certainly folks that way. When we were selling grass-fed beef, a lot of people complained about our pricing, and some folks would tell us, like, they'd call me up and have a conversation with them, and they'd say, well, I was getting ground beef at $4 a pound from this rancher. I'm like, well, I'm not trying to take anyone's business. How come you don't stick with them? And she said, well, they are out of business. And so I'm like, okay, yes, that's why I'm not selling it at $4 a pound. So I'm going to walk you through the spreadsheet a little bit, and those are topics that I'm going to dive way more into in kind of some of the other weekly lessons. This one, Tony brought it up yesterday, And I feel that our mindset about things, like we never really think about an old cow or a cow that's not producing calves as our most premium product. And this is same goes for butcher bulls and heifers that you wean and or not wean, sorry, but you cull, and like anything that you feel that is just going off to the auction, other than your young steers and younger animals. Well, I mean, whatever we can. So right here, the 1,000 pounds, you can change that, based on whatever your average weight is, and kind of play with this. And like I said, I'll share in the comments a link to this in our Google Drive, in Google Docs. Okay, so we're gonna walk through this real quick. Kind of up here, you can change that if you want to do 10 cattle, and put in however many you want there. Same thing with the weight. If you, so this assumes that you are buying the cow. So that's this $787. You've got a premium, you're paying the local farmers and ranchers 15%, more than what auction is. This is our Vail, Oregon auction price as of this week, $685 pound on, that was the top price for a butcher cow. But if this is a fully depreciated cow on your farm or ranch, you can plug in 0 there, and that will change all your numbers for it. And then the storage, that for us, we just had chest freezers. I just assumed that you can put whatever you want there. If you are renting it, and you want to do this calculated by the year, you can put in, if it's 50 a month, then you can put that in, or whatever you want to do there. But this number here is 50. It doesn't change based on how many cows you're doing. So if you plug in 100 there, then that you will have some storage time to add in. Same, and you can notice there with like processing, transport, and shipping, like those all kind of calculate. And, in it, so my background, I was a financial analyst and an Excel jockey. So I can certainly, if you want to make a copy of this for your farm or ranch, I can certainly help you kind of tweak some of the numbers to make it work for what you're doing in your operation. Then storage, shipping, average shipping cost. Oh yeah, I think I talked about the average shipping cost. That you can tweak as well, but I do recommend not doing anything small. That's what, like, that can, big lesson learned. I'm going to go into that in more detail in another video. Right here, I thought that this was neat. So if we're doing 40-pound boxes, to understand how you can get, like this 30,000 in profit if you're pricing it at $10.99. How are you going to get that? You're going to sell 102 40-pound boxes, and 9 of those, you would need 9 per month or 2 per week to hit that. That changes if we do 100, then that dramatically changes. If we do 2 a month, if you're doing 2 cows a month, you need 5 orders a week to do that all year long. And that can be repeat customers and things like that as well. And like I said, these numbers here, this did not include shipping, and I'll talk about that. You can see it down here. Based on this $75, our average shipping cost is $188 per pound. And so it makes it change dramatically from a break even of $3.59 for our ground beef to $5.47. So that's what I've shown here, and then you can see the average farm. If we sell on at the average farm $5 a pound price, I'm just going to change this back to 1. We're going to do $2,000 in sales, and you're going to make a profit of $527. So doing that at $5 a pound, you might as well go to the auction. Like, it's not profitable enough at $5 a pound. Actually, sorry about that. That would be if we zeroed this out. Okay, so you're making $1,300 in profit at $5 a pound, and now your break even is $1.78 a pound. So, you know, you can kind of weigh that option there. Then I did. So that's if you're buying a cow, paying, you know, the market price plus premium, so $787. So then I did what. So a lot of folks have asked, how do I price my product? So that's why in here I put this. If we are doing 40-pound boxes, and you want to do it at $5 a pound like this, like the average farm, you would price that 40-pound box $200. And from that, you'd get $52 in profit on each one you sold, or 26% of your profit margin. And you need to do 10. You need 10 orders to be able to do that. So now I'm going to kind of explain these guys and go into how you can price your product and what the difference there would be. So with Whole Foods, they're $6.99 a pound. You price it at $6.99 a pound. Your break even would be $15.12 still. That doesn't change from up here, and your profit would be $13.39. So you're from the $5 a pound here at $5.27. You're almost 2.5 times that, a little more than 2.5 times. Your pricing would be $2.79 for that 40-pound box, and then profit per shipment or per farm store pickup is going to be $133. And if we wanted to do, I didn't do it, but if we wanted to do some kind of delivery thing, we could do that as well. You know, figure out some kind of calculation for delivery. I would honestly just value your time as much as you value UPS, and charge something similar to that. One thing in that $75 average cost, that does include the packaging material and dry ice. So if we're doing a delivery, and that's something I'll probably do down the road, is add delivery in here to just take away the dry ice and the packaging material in that. So yeah, that's it. So Whole Foods, you're going to get a profit margin 47%, New Seasons price 54%, Zupan 66%. Then total profit per shipment or per order, 297, 174, 133. And then here over on shipments, I just took our average shipment price and put that in there to give you an idea of what you would need to charge for. So how much is it? That's a big question a lot of folks have, is if I'm shipping, how much is it going to cost me to ship, you know, every time? And if you do decide you want to do 10-pound boxes or 20-pound boxes, we can calculate that. It's basically, if just doing math in my head, this is on a 40-pound box. If we're going to a 20-pound box, it's going to be about $3.50 a pound. If we're going to a 10-pound box, it's going to be about $5 a pound, something like that. But that's out of my head. I can certainly calculate that, but it's going to be dramatically more expensive the more shipments that you send per cow. Yeah, I think that kind of goes through everything that I put together here. Go ahead and jump into that and play with it, and let me know what you think. I'm working on, you can see down there, there's lamb and other things. I'm working on building more into this and other spreadsheets. that I'll make available to our members. And then I'll do the same thing where I can just walk through and talk you through it, and feel free to reach out if you have questions. Or like I said, if you want to make a copy and make one for your own farm. And oh yeah, I am password protecting this so that you know, it can kind of keep some of its integrity. And the tricky thing with Google Drive is, oh, maybe I won't, because I can have it just go to a very specific email. And yeah, cool. I hope that this helps you guys. Like I said, there's lots of different ways that you can look at what would work at your farm or ranch and try and find out, like, what is my most valuable asset. And honestly, just focusing on ground beef is not a bad plan, because if you're able to, you know, price it at these prices, you've already got a fully depreciated asset. And you know, if you're doing, you know, more than, just getting that extra 3,000 in profit is nice. Let's say we do 40 a year. That's a very legitimate business. That's your profit over here. That's not your total annual sales on 40 cows, which is would cost you 31,000 if you're buying them. And take that away. Say that you already have that many. Can give you 150,000 in profit. Like, there's on here 114,000 in sales, 130 in sales, 179 in sales, and all of those have a break even of 27,000. And that's if you own them. You know, and didn't include that. If you are including it, your break even is 58,000. So yeah, look forward to hearing from you guys, and really appreciate you being a part of this community. I'm excited for you guys to start trying some new things and thinking outside of the box. I'd love your feedback. Love to have you dive into this and try and tweak some of the numbers and start putting the pencil on the paper. This is typically when farmers and ranchers are planning out their years this time of year. So if this is what you're doing right now, highly recommend calling up your USDA butchers and talking to them about what your options are for the year. But yeah, again, thank you so much, guys. We've got some exciting things coming up in the coming weeks, and yeah, look forward to it. All right, talk to you later. Oh, still recording.